If you want to play the Caucasian game, just know that you're bound to lose because the rules to their games were never set with you in mind. If they don't manage in strip you of your morals, your values, your tradition, your identity, your sense of self, there's really nothing they can do to you. You see, you understand? So you have to understand that warfare involving children has been a well-known European practice, and it leads to today's topic. Okay, so to my beautiful and amazing children, let's jump right into the heart of today's topic. Today's topic is about the phenomenon of child soldier. In today's video, we are going to talk about, are you a rebel child, aka a soldier child to your community, or are you a son or a daughter to your community? All right. If, for example, I tell you, hey, my dear lovelies, what do you know about child soldiers, right? You're probably going to say, oh, I saw them in the Blood Diamond movie and everything and so on. So the idea of a child being brainwashed and turned around armed to the teeth and used against their people, when you look at whatever information is put out there, you would think that it's a 1992 phenomenon that just popped all of a sudden in the Congo. But my dear children, the most documented example of that practice being used as a warfare, as a strategy, you know, is back in Europe. The strategy of using children as a war weapon, has been used by the Europeans. So let me take you back in history. One of those groups that were like, out there in the public, no shame, grooming a whole group of little ones to become as evil and racist as them in Nazi Germany, okay? They called them the Hitler Youth. I'm sure some of you have heard of the Hitler Youth. What is the Hitler Youth? In their German language, they call them Hitlerjugend, okay? Was the youth organization of the Nazi Party in Germany. And then he said its origins date back to 1922, and it received the name of Hitlerjugend Bund Deutsche Arbeiterjugend. In their German language, it means Hitler Youth, League of German Worker Youth. So on the outside, you're not knowing what they're doing with that youth. You're gonna see that, oh, maybe they're initiating them on how to be good worker, blah blah. But no, it was a division that was targeting the youth, okay? Because what you have to understand is, like, when you are trying to force an ideology, all right, into people's mind, an ideology, not truth, not a fact, not truth, an ideology that you came up from out of your heart, you try to force that on people. Of course, you're going to target the youth because you want to make sure that after you're going to have people already set in place, already trained to continue your work, so your ideology live on after you. So, okay, now Hitler, just get a bad rap because he brought out in the open what they've been doing, you know, and he brought out in the open a very evil, dark side of them. That technique, what did he do? He groomed another generation of Nazi. That's how that concept of indoctrinating children, you know, to use them as war weapon, you know, and stuff like that. It came from them. Now Hitler is just the one who came out in the open and did it. But they did it in Africa. So do you know that after they conquered our lands and stuff, they used to go to places, to villages and stuff, and collect small children from their parents. The boys, they will remove the boys from the village and go and put them in this boarding school, in this Christian boarding school. The parents that would oppose to it would be put to death. So what would they do? They would brainwash these children. They would teach them French. They would teach them all kind of nonsense. And then they would tell these children that people who don't speak like you, who don't speak French, they are illiterate. So what did these children used to do? I mean, they put in their head that they were superior, they were better than their parents. So you had the same idiot coming back home and call their parents or grandparents illiterate. It was because of that kind of brainwash. And then when the parents started talking sense into the children, like, wake up, don't you see what they're doing? You know, they moved to the phase where they were having children with some native women. It's strange that among us, they always found some of us ready to give them exactly what they want. Just a parenthesis. So what did they used to do? They used to use these mixed children. They would take the mixed children and, you know, and give them the whoop. They were the spies. They would tell the mixed children they're better than the native who were pure divinity. Yeah, they would tell them, yeah, you are better. So you whip them, they're your slave, basically. So you will see that in each aspect of their collaboration, there's never a pure and innocent intent. There's always malice underneath it. Even if it was a marriage, there was always malice. How can I take over her people or his people, you know, through him or through her? So that's why our people tells us to be very careful with the assimilation, because assimilation is their most powerful weapons now. If you take a group of people, you uproot them from their home and then you brainwash them to make them believe anything, you have conquered them, because you don't have to worry about them becoming these powerful people you once fought. Now they are under your complete control and you do to them as you wish. They will do every and anything to maintain the status quo. So I want our children to understand that back in the days, they used the youth because they figured that if, you know, the children could do that to the parents, you know, that would be children that they have won over. These are children that would, you know, they would take them, as you could see in the movie Blood Diamond, they take them, they kidnap them, all right? They kidnap those children from their parents and then they take them somewhere in the woods. And what did you see in that movie? They had them go through all kind of rituals, binding rituals, binding them to their kidnappers. You know, because what I would like my beautiful children to understand out there, there's no way they can enslave the body before trying to enslave the spirit first. That's why everything they did on you, my dear children, from the time they snatched your ancestors from the continent, our elders tells us that even the branding was a ritual. They believed that through fire you could destroy anything that was evil. They were perceiving us as being the evil ones. So the body markings and all these things that our parents would mark on our body that were protective and all, they believed that they could break it, you know, applying hot fire on us and replacing this marking with the emblem of the crown that kidnapped our people. So you see, even that was a ritual for a transfer of authority over that body, over that soul. And from there, more. It was revealed to me that so many rituals have been made to ensure that the spirits remain enslaved. Okay? So as you could see in that movie Blood Diamond, they had these kids do all kind of ritual and swearing oath and swearing allegiance to their kidnapper. And then next, what do? They give them access to drugs. You know, in the jungle, they give them access to a lot of drugs and a lot of dangerous weapons. You see these small boys, they look so raggedy, and they don't even have a pair of shoes on their feet, but they have an AK-47. They have all kind of sophisticated weapon. So we know where this weapon comes. This big corporation, when they want to steal somebody's mineral, they're going to uproot an entire population. They're going to bring children they kidnap and train as child soldier to go attack people of a neighboring county. And when they come to you to do the worst, to beat you, to rape you, and ultimately to kill you. So, and it caught Africa by surprise, you know, when they came up with that new version, because it's an experiment they used in Germany, and it was successful. So those Hitler youth grew up to, you know, groom another wave. That's why they're still around. And for our children, they brought here, they did that, broke them, because kids were raised not to respect their parents, not to respect anybody, including committing the abominable, as raping their mothers so that the slave master could have a child. Now, they didn't care where that child was going to come from. They did really abominable things to our people. So you see, and once they break you like that, they take away your sense of self. You are now attached to them. Your spirit, everything has been cooked so that they become your God, and all you want to do is what they tell you to do. Now, in the time of our grandparents and stuff, my grandfather used to tell the story on how back at home the people fought against the children being, you know, raised against them. Do you know what my grandfather told me they used to do to these children? They used to petition to Tata Nzambe to have them removed. So many kids were like that. And until today, in Africa, you just don't do it. You don't go to an older person and start talking rubbish. Like I see some of them and stuff. Some of our kids, they go rob a store, they find an old man, they go and fight him. These things in Africa will get you killed in a month. All they take, they will speak those words, that's it, you're gone. A bad accident gonna happen, or you suffer a growth somewhere and the doctor said they can't do anything. Something is bound to happen to you. So this is what my grandfather told me, that this is how they used to fight it. They used to put children in their places. A little belligerent kid, loud mouth and stuff, that kid will not last long. It will not last. You will hear that kid is dead. So this is how the elders were setting the record straight, that we may have been stripped of our wealth, but our position in the eyes of Nzambe remain that we are of a higher rank. The child can never be greater than the father, no matter what. So this is where we get that understanding, because we saw them act on those words. You see a kid come and act around that he knows so much, he goes offending people. It won't last not even 3 months. You're going to hear something. The news going to come that something terrible has happened to that kid, that that kid has left planet Earth. This is how you have to understand that it's not a new tactic. So in Africa, our elders, they fought it like that. They were taking these children out, clearly. So it restored kind of respect. You know, in the community, our people tell us, do not offend any elderly person out there. Don't try, don't dare. Because they know, you know, when they call, it's Tata Nzambe himself who reply. We may not see them as who they are, but not in the eyes of Nzambe, they're still the custodian of the biggest secrets of humanity. And Tata Nzambe still see them for the pure divine being they are. You have to understand that using children as a warfare strategy has been used. Even the Bolshevik, you know, in former USSR, after they murdered their king and everything, and they sunk the kingdom in a bloodbath. So you have to understand, and especially us who are the survivor of those slain kings. So a child soldier is, number one, an agent of division. A child soldier will always have an agenda. A child soldier will tell you, I'm of this tribe, but I hate this tribe because they killed my father. A child soldier will always have a reason to hate somebody. So number one, they're an agent of division. Number two, they're an agent of confusion. A child soldier is those of us who deliberately push the white supremacy agenda by maintaining the divide, because they have become other white supremacists among us. They have become those narcissistic people that enslaved us. You know how narcissist people would do? They will, if they have an issue with you over something, but they truly want to attack you over something else, they're gonna make the issue over something completely else and gonna give themselves the right to come after you and attack you. It's like, you know, with them you can never get like a resolution, because they strive with trying to dominate, forcing their ideas on people or destroy them. Many of our kids have become like that. Like when Colin Kaepernick was kneeling to say enough with the police brutality, I can't be running around here and not honor my brothers. The police is killing on the street. He was kneeling to bring awareness to police brutality, and they made it about the flag. Oh, the flag, the flag, the flag, the flag. Many of our people have become like that. You can bring them any proof of whatever. Stop walking around feeling so hateful. Your people didn't sell you. Your people fought. Your people this. Bring them any. No, but they just want to hate. They go around, yeah, we black, we this. You are being a child soldier, because a child soldier disconnects himself from its root, from his people. A child soldier is what we call high risk. People high risk, like a ticket time bomb. They can go off at any time because they're not rooted into anything stable. So you don't really want to get involved with them romantically. You don't want to get involved with them professionally. And ultimately, a child soldier is an agent of death. Yes, he will come and distribute death in his own village as if he's nothing. He's no longer himself. His spirit has been perverted. His soul is under somebody else's entire control. So you see, it's only now recently, like in the Congo and stuff, they're passing laws, condemning the recruitment of children. They used to recruit them 10 years and up, and you will see them carrying automatic machine guns and stuff, bigger than them, heavier than them. Who gives them all these weapons? We know. So, but how do we get to that? Because they've been successful in recruiting among our own children. Once they go and do that brainwash, that kid can go and be a child soldier. What do I mean a child soldier? Don't just think that because you're not in the jungle running around terrorizing other Africans like you, that it doesn't make you a child soldier. What makes you a child soldier is this loyalty to your own community. Knowing that we are in captivity, we are, being hunted after and stuff, we need to stick together, but we don't stick together. By choice, we choose to remain dysfunctional. We choose not to heal. We choose not to see the truth. We choose to wear our rose-colored glasses. We choose to continue drinking the Kool-Aid the former master have been feeding us, and then when we continue feeling sick. We don't even know why we're feeling sick of life, because we've been allowing ourselves to be beaten mentally, emotionally. Some of our children come and, tell me that I come across as someone who's jealous at the African Americans and stuff. Somebody post that comment because I repost an article that that Indian network made about the Williams sister that denying their African roots. And that wasn't coming from me, as humiliating as it was, because the truth is, you would see the other nationalities, even if the children were born here, but if the parents are from there, they will claim that ethnicity. The Indians, they have a lot of uprising stars, but you would never know whether they even ever lived in India, but they have parents who are born in India, they're Indian. So the lady made that report because we are yet to see an Indian that would go and say he's not from India, he's American, or a Chinese that come and deny China, that no, because he's born here or his mama was born here, he doesn't consider himself Chinese. We are yet to see those. But what do we see all the time is our children denying Africa. Like the Indian lady said, it's like as if nothing good could come from Africa. Do you know how embarrassing that is? You know, instead of coming on my page and telling me I'll come across as jealous. Jealous of what? That's embarrassing when even other nationality, they'll come after you like, after all, you guys are getting what you deserve. That's basically, that was the message behind that report. It's like she even put a quote, something about, yeah, her quote was like a tree without root is swept away quickly by the wind or something. But my quote is a tree without root is just a tree trunk. All right? And from a trunk, I can make whatever I want. I can make a door. I can make a table. I can make a chair. I can make anything. So you understand? So when you try to make people understand that it's for your own well-being, your own balance, you know, as a people, to root yourself to something, you know, and take pride of who you are. Because they can only dangle you that American citizenship, dangle, that as long as you show that you want it, you're ready to die for it, you're ready to go through all kind of form of restriction, as long as you still, or as long as they tell you you're still one of them. It shows how fragile our children's mental health is, you know, because it's like the case of an abusive man and all he does is beat up that woman, beat the F out of her. But each time you're gonna do better tomorrow. Gonna do better tomorrow. Yes, I'm still his wife. I got to drink on that one because it shows you how much our people are addicted to trauma. I had to take a sip of water on that one. It shows you how much our people are addicted to trauma. Yes. The more you beat them, the more they love you, the more it's like it becomes like a game. I got to conquer you. I got to make you mine. You know, this is some sick shit before they could associate to Africa. So to me, when I see it, it's a lot of sadness because I know what it means. Now, we want to be American so bad, but America has been ignoring us and treating us the worst. Africa is reaching out. No, I hate those Africans. Nah, they're jealous of us. And I told her, I pity you. I truly do. You know, because a tree without a root is a tree trunk. That's exactly what you guys are, tree trunks. But you can never grow to be a tree until you rooted into your root, which is Africa. To our children who go there black, it means that they're taking only into account the captured African who was enslaved lineage. That's all they care about. But the captured African came here as a child. What baggage spiritually that one holds that could be greater than that one of his father, who's the root back at home. So they think that people just want to force, that nobody want to force nobody, but this is what happened when in your mouth you say you're not African. It means that anything spiritually that was coming with you as African and stuff, spirit obey to command. Those ancestors, those elevated ancestors that are assigned to look after the people of your tribe, they're sure gonna stay away from you. We gotta know what we're doing with our mouth, with our words. Okay, you put yourself at a spiritual disadvantage because, you know, you're denying yourself of the richest aspect of you, which is home base. To everybody, their home base is important. I remember when I just came to America. Now, that tendency a little stopped. You used to ask our people, what was their ethnicity? Oh my God, they would tell you, I'm half Irish, half Italian, half French, half this. And I used to say, okay, well, Africa gonna come? Africa never came. They would say, they would say all kind of names and stuff. So To me, I didn't hold it against them. I felt like, man, they put a number on our people to the point they even refuse. I know they know that we look alike. I look more like them than any Heather or Becky out there. I'm their sister, they know. But it's just like they're rejecting that aspect of us. To me, I was like, man, they put a number on our people. So I really, started, digging more and learning more, about the Black history and stuff, and the horror I found out that our people went through here, kind of made me understand. And even after my crowning led me to the research I was able to make as pertaining to our people in the diaspora. So you have to understand that them defeating our forefathers and force an ideology, which is white supremacy, they couldn't leave us alone, us the descendant of those, because they had to put their hands on us and brainwash us to be, acceptant and obedient to such system. And another thing they do, they recruit from the elite. Those of us who rises to the top, it's only once you have rose to the top that they approach you. Now they're interested in you because you have proven that come from somewhere solid. What I would like my beautiful children to keep in mind out there is you have to remember that we are links pertaining to the same chain, right? So when that link is broken, our elders tells us that it puts an halt, a stop to your spiritual growth, because at that point you're going to spend the rest of your life to try to find links that are of the same kind that could, just clip your necklace back together. So let me go a little deeper. When you disconnect from your egregores, when you disconnect from your true source and follow other people's egregores and true source, first of all, you put yourself at a spiritual disadvantage, because whatever works for them is not going to work for you. In fact, their egregores don't have to serve you or grant you any favors because they don't know you. All right? Let's say we're not of the same source. So you put yourself at a disadvantage, and also by you doing that, you telling them that basically you have accepted to assimilate. And once you have betrayed yourself in that manner, at that point you define happiness based on what they say happiness is. You define success based on what they say success is. You define achievement based on whatever zip code they say is the it. So they drag you around like that, and when they see that, you have taken liking, you start gauging things in life based on their gauge, right? Assimilating their morals. It's okay for you to share your wife around like a piece of cake, and it's okay for her to share you around like a piece of cake, knowing that it's through sex that you can destroy a group of people faster. Yeah, we're just gonna play by and assimilate ourselves to their ways, even make our sons and daughters homosexual, because once they have made you homosexual, actually it's like a lineage gonna stop there, frankly speaking. We just have to be truthful. So, and knowing that through this practice, a lot of men lose their manhood, and after that they're not interested in having children, so whole lineage has stopped there. They're very clever, they stop at no length to get what they want. They will bring you a form of kind of brotherhood. Yeah, we're gonna put you in a club where there's a brotherhood between us that should supersede any other brotherhood, whether by blood, by nationality, by clan, by ethnic clan, by everything. All right, now they're offering you a brotherhood which they know they don't believe in, but it's to trap you. You have rose to the top. You're part of the elite of that community they've been oppressing. You have rose to the top. Now you're worthy of their attention. They come and offer you a brotherhood and stuff. But that brotherhood, it's always at the African expense. It's the African that needs to forget about himself and his custom and his traditions and his morals and his values. It's always at the African culture's expense. They stop at nothing. But and then they're going to stop your rise, they're going to stop your growth by pulling you to their little organization, their little secret societies that are, you know, other plantations for our people. So, and then since that soul didn't get broken during slavery, and then now they're going to make sure they entrap it. But you have to stop and think that as long as you assimilate to their rules, to their games, you know, you are bound to play the game of life based on their rules. You are bound to try to win that race, based strictly on their rules, on a game that was designed for them to be the winner. You're already a declared loser even before you start that race or that competition. So you see how they disarm the strongest of us, the best of us. Only the strong spirit in that the man shall be like, wait a minute. What are you asking of me? They throw you all kind of money. In exchange, you have to sell your soul for things that are rightfully yours. But you will never know that nobody needs to sell you a leopard spirit for you to know that you're born with one. Should you just say that my people, whatever you were sitting on is therefore mine. I, your son, I'm coming back home. Everything that came with your forefathers will be added on to you. Spirit, obey to command. So you see how you put yourself at a disadvantage. Things that are for you, when I see them in their videos with a little subliminal message, I'm like, yeah, I see our Danny, yes, our stuff. Some of them, you see the serpent, you see the leopard, you see the... I'm like, but these children are born with these things. What are they doing? Selling it to them at the cost of what? Their souls, for their contracts, for whatever they give them access to. You see how they work. So you always want to have contact with your source. We're not asking everybody to move back home, no. But you have to have, you know, knowledge of where you come from, how your people function and everything. Even when things go tough, you say, hey, people of, if you found out you Bamileke, people of the Bamileke, healers of the Bamileke, I, your son, I'm here not feeling well. Come and check on me or whatever. You're sending an SOS because, you know, you are acknowledging who you are. You're claiming your inheritance. So you see, are we being a shoulder child? A shoulder child? Well, they set you aside. Oh, these are the ones who rose from the top. Okay, we're going to make them slave. Okay, we're going to bring them in our secret society. They're going to swear, you know, allegiance to us, a allegiance that supersedes anything. For them to have access to these things they're born with, but they just don't know it. You see? Because so many of us, when they see other African coming, all they want to do is fight them instead of conversing, exchanging knowledge. Conversation as such, we should have had it 20 years ago. I, your queen, have been in this country 20 plus years. None of you dare come around, and if you come around, it's probably to use me or something. You see how we've been holding our own selves back? This is what you have to kind of understand, that. Are you being used against your own people? Are you a child soldier? What do you do? What do you go out there and try to humiliate your own people? Do you go out there and try to publicly beef with your own people? My children, we need to respect ourselves for the rest of the world to follow. I mean, it's very important. So this is the question we need to ask to ourselves. Are we a child soldier? In other words, are we a terror to our community? Or are we a son and a daughter to that same community? This is the question we need to ask. What did I get myself involved? Did it require me to turn my back to my people? I have betrayed my people. I have betrayed my legacy. Because many of you, some doors are open up to you in the invisible, because the ancestors on the other side expect for you to fulfill something for that community. So they put you in a leadership, and what do the powers that be do? They come and snatch you from there and confuse you, and from there we lose you completely. So that's why many of you's wealth is still very fragile, because you didn't trust the ancestors with it. You didn't trust the God of our ancestor with it. You went and compromised, knowing that you didn't need to compromise. They're not the ones who gave you the talent that is now attracting their interest in you. So you yourself give the power away. You have to sit firm. But the thing is, if we're not united, it's very hard to resist. First of all, we can't even leave each other, two families under the same roof. It's going to be war. So we need to first heal the toxicity in our families, because when there's more solidarity among us, and then people can know that, okay, I'm going to stand up for the cause, and if something happens to my job, my brother, my sister are going to host me for this amount of time, or until I can get back on my feet, without threatening me around that I'm at her house, without threatening to call the cops on me. All that nasty shit our people do around. You see them in their TV show. It's like they invite you just to set you up, to insult you, or just to set you up to have you jump. All kind of crazy things that make people not even want to befriend us. Like, what kind of people are these? We need to stop all that toxicity. We need to heal all that. If you're hurting the community in one way or another, you are a soldier child. You are not a son or a daughter to our community. I saw some of us, they love these content that are highly toxic. These content that are like charged, like they're putting somebody down. So I was reading one of these posts. They were insulting one of these celebrities because he mentioned that he didn't mention about race, talk about race to his kid or something like that. The girl that was presenting went in and even insulted him, like funny looking self or something. So I was so shocked to see in the comments, somebody actually put, funny looking self, haha, I like her. And he made me think, I'm like, what does he like about her? Because she's verbally assaulting one of us? I'm like, by the way, the woman doesn't have a child. And she shouldn't even be in a position to tell anybody how to raise their children. See, what a lot of our children don't understand is, like, don't play their games. If they tell you now that you are black and you accept it, they're going to treat you like black. Not long ago, you were African American. Now that they see that the global warming is setting their lands on fire, now all the eyes are in Africa. They're telling you, no, you're indigenous here. So you disengage while they plan to invade Africa. You have to see that everything is tied. Everything has a reason. It's us. We continue. We complain, oh, this system, no. We're enforcing it. Many of us, they like to do these words games. They get a stupid video from a certain country, but they're going to treat us like the Caucasian treat us. They're not going to say people in Kenya are mourning the queen. They're going to say Africans mourning the queen, like Africa is the whole continent. This is how they maintain division, confusion. All right? They're going to try to pin the South African against the other Africans because, oh, they have something in common. They went through slavery. But all the people whose leg were chopped off in a form of resistance before they could work for the Mundeles, their bloodshed doesn't count. This is how they pin one against one another. When you identify these people, they like to maintain the adrenaline really high with the kind of topic they bring around you. So these are the agents of division, okay? They wanna dare to an identity which is clearly a downgrade. Okay, it lets you know how mentally ill many of our people are. I keep on rejecting you, I keep on denying you, I keep on taking rights away from you, but you swear that you belong to me, that we can never part. You even jealous when I bring other women around. It looks horrible. So it lets you know that we're dealing with people, the level of success, monetary or whatever, has nothing to do. You have to look at people mentally, how they feel. Some of our children are like, they even created their own identity. They changed their names on their own. I know of these royals, I know them. We have to see in which way we are sabotaging our own community, in which way we are maintaining their predominance over us. My question to our beautiful sons and daughters out there is, my children, explain to me how someone you will beat on a racetrack. I watch you guys racing against them. They don't even race anymore. They gave up their sports to us. Someone you beat correctly on a racetrack. Now tell me how they beat you in the game of life. They knock you off and you're still behind there. You are yet to rise and catch up. It means that they have conquered our mind. That's what it means. When you beat them on the field to the point you kick them out of that discipline altogether, but in the race of life, they leave you far behind. It means that they're clever. You are not. Yes, my children, and this is not to hurt anybody's feeling. If you are not clever, it means that I'm not clever. Since you came from me, we are not clever. They are. When it comes to the survival, they don't care. You will see them if they catch the info that to be safe, you have to become Bantu. You have to speak the Bantu language. You're gonna see them speak Bantu even before the real Bantus they have in captivity. You will see them put funds in it. You will see them do whatever. Now that the words is going out that they are condemned to extinction, that's why, their males can produce as many, and now they're holding their women wombs hostage. Some of them go to jail so that baby could be born. That shows you, they're resolving to strict measures to try to stay around. Watch, if they tell them to stick around, you're going to have to become black. You're going to see them making it a law that they have to, all the marriages have to. When it comes to survival, they don't stop to nothing. When it came to bring us down, people who don't share ethnicity or brotherhood by blood came to us as one European. They call themselves the whites, although they're not white, but they came as one. And we are here. I'm afraid we're still acting like we haven't suffered enough. We need to heal. We need to become sons and daughters of our community. The community should be safe. We shouldn't mourn another handsome child. PNB, my son listens to rap. He showed me, Mom, they kill another one. All this comes for a group of people the enemy has successfully make believe that they have no roots, they come from nowhere, that they have no allegiance to nothing, not to family, not to anything. The enemy has taken away their father. The enemy has made them a monster. Only then, because when you take your brother's life, you saw that handsome kid on the floor. What do you think? If you had respect for his life, you would have had respect for his father's life, for his mother's life, for his children's life. But since they made us believe that we are not related, we are nothing, and many want to maintain that toxicity. Many want to maintain that division because it's comfortable to be broken, because it's comfortable to be full of self-hatred. As long as there are people we're going to use as guinea pig around us to make suffer. The dysfunction must stop, or we need to give up. Because when I look around, we have become child soldier, serving the interests of our kidnappers. Point blank, period. Okay? The ones they have managed to bring to the top, they bring them aside. Oh, no, you can't get involved. You can't. Your check first, your checks first, your checks first. When they're there, lift up their head, they're going to have 40 women claiming that they raped them. They have you guys just in a bowl. But I want our people to awaken to who they are. Tatan Zambe said, in this time, you will recover our collective consciousness. What does it mean, my beautiful ones? It means we will start remembering who we were, who we came from. He's going to heal our minds. He's going to heal our soul. But we have work to do, though. We have to want to see each other as one. We have to want to see God in each one of us. We have to heal. We have to let go of resentment, of hatred, of division. We are not child soldiers. We are not agent of confusion. We are not agent of division among our own. We are not agent of death. You have to understand that every single thing we do, there's a revenge that comes on the other side. That young boy they killed, you know his ancestors have sworn. The lineage of that kid who did it, he hated his brother so much, he came and took his life and even robbed him, took his belonging and run off with it. When you have gone to that point, it's like the enemy has made of you an animal. This is where we need to wake up. Those of us who are still conscientious, wherever you are, be that voice of wisdom. You hear somebody entertaining that division. Division is our number one killer. If we stay divided, we will not see each other as brothers. We will not see each other as our aunties and our uncles' children. Your pain will not cause us pain. If we stay divided, we stay selfish. So let's take this conversation on Patreon. Over there, I will cover what we can do, because some of us have taken themselves to a point of no return. Some of them have sworn allegiance to things, to people and stuff they feel they can't break free of. But no, my dear children, there's a solution to everything. Every mystical legal laws have loopholes. And in the case of you, my lovelies of the diaspora, there's a loophole you can exploit to break free from any ungodly soul tie, any ungodly oath you may have sworn to whomever, it doesn't matter, okay? So follow me on the other side. Until next time, to my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa, peace in your homes, love in your heart, and unity, for without which we need to give up. But we're not about to give up, aren't we? All right, my dear children, see you on the other side. Mwah.